Welcome to the Wild West Farmer. My name is Casey and today is December 17th. We're going to be out ripping some ground this morning. We've got a ripper hooked up here and some big old shanks. We're going to try to bust that compaction layer. The reason we're doing that is we're wanting to get some nice soft soil here, and that way our roots can grow in our crops. If the ground is too hard, the roots of the crops will not be able to grow down because they can't grow through super hard soil. So we're ripping to bust this compaction up. As you can tell, like this huge clod, that's a hard dirt clod right there. Well, when we're trying to grow our crops, whenever we plant a seed, the seed has to have a spot for its roots to grow. Well, if the little roots go down and hit this clod, I mean, I can't even, let me see if I can. This clod is, I mean, that's as hard as a rock. Well, not technically, but I mean, that's a extremely hard dirt clod. It's not as hard as a rock, but anyway, so that's, we're running these shanks in the ground to try to lift the soil up and fracture this soil as we're going through it. As you can tell here, this looks like where a buggy had ran. You can see these divots here. I can take my knife. I mean, that ground is compacted in there. We're not really worried about the surface compaction, like the top 2 inches, mainly below that. These tractors weigh a lot, and this soil just needs broken up and ripped up. We're wanting to get across it here pretty quick. But that's what we've been doing. Albert's been running this ripper for all day yesterday, and he's gonna come run it some more, or the rest of the day. I'm just getting going this morning. Roller cone 11 shank ripper, 18 foot, 4 inches wide, 4.5 miles an hour. We've got 60 acres ripped yesterday, pretty easy. And so we got another 60 here. We're gonna hit again. So we're just ripping it crossways here. First 200-300 yards is kind of bouncy in the tractor because we are crossing the old rows. Even though it's flat, you can still feel them. So going about 4.1 miles an hour. Probably can slow down a little just because it's rough. Got my GPS set. Tractor's pulling it relatively easy. You can see them horsepower bars kind of pop in there as it lugs down, as it crosses the patterns. There's 6 rows out here that aren't hard, and then the tractor track rows where the tractor drives all year is always a little bit, you know, harder because that's where we drive. Funnest part of being a farmer is plowing. Really like plowing up soil for some reason. Just always looks pretty. I really like no-till, but just a really pretty plowed field always looks good. See those ripper points coming up here and just shattering this ground up. Just, oh, that's some hard dirt. So these are the point rows. This is where we hauled all the cotton out of here. This ground's hard. Look at these clods, you know, that's a boulder right there. You know, that's a 100-pound dirt clod. We don't want clods this big. Now in areas like this little area where we hauled all the cotton out of the field, we're gonna have dirt clods that are a lot bigger. For instance, right here is a huge dirt clod. Got jerked out of the ground over here. But you can tell where that ripper point ran in there, shattering this ground across. pretty easily running at about a foot deep. If the ground's too wet, the rippers won't work because the shanks will just kind of slice through the ground like a knife slicing through butter. So the ground's got to be just right. You want shatter going on down there, but the farther we get away off these point rows, it's gonna work good. But we'll have to come through here and plow this out real nice to chop all those clods up. So I got a perfect example of what compaction does to your roots. Cotton always has a big taproot. If y'all look at that, there's no taproot on that. That taproot is right here, and it turned because it hit so much compaction. Most all these stalks are kind of that away. Here's another one. So maybe it's a good thing we're putting some pretty good tillage pass on this. So I just made it back out to the barn. Albert's been ripping, Cheeto's been shredding. Cheeto just got done with the shredder. He's actually going to unhook the shredder and bring the 4560 over here. What we're gonna do is vacuum out this drill. There's a little bit of seeds left in the seed cups in here. I'm wanting to clean every last piece of seed out of this drill. I don't want any seed in there. If you leave seed in it, the rodents will get up in those tubes. They'll build a nest of cotton. They'll get cotton from around, you know, there's cotton everywhere here. And they'll build a nest inside the drill. Well, when they live there all year, they, you know, make a mess, and that cotton will attract moisture and it'll rust out the bottoms of your drills. So it's important that we get the drill really clean and taken care of. This is a 2018 model drill. I bought it new. I've kept it as good a shape as that we can get it. We're actually gonna leave this drill here. I've ordered some parts for these press wheels. Are a little bit wore out. We'll probably be working on that tomorrow. You can see how that wiggles. There's some bushings right up in here that they're gonna get ordered for me today. Hopefully they'll have those in tomorrow, and we're gonna start pulling this stuff apart and getting this drill back into operational shape. So that's what we got planned with the drill. The tractor's dirty. We're gonna clean, wash all the windows, vacuum out the inside, wipe everything down, get it all up to par because it's dirty, and I don't like it dirty. Don't like the drill dirty. So that's what we're gonna do. Cheeto's bringing the 4560. We're gonna do the same thing to it. We're gonna take the field cultivator and 8285R. We're gonna unhook the field cultivator and move it down to idaloo. Okay, I got it all clean. Now it's time to wash it off. One down. trying to bust these big clods up and seal this ground back off. When we ran the ripper through, we exposed a lot of crevices and stuff in the ground. If we don't come in here and seal this ground back off, which what I mean by that is bust the clods and fill in all these little crevices and holes that the ripper makes, the ground will continue to dry out all the way to the bottom. So right here's a pretty good little hole. If the air gets in there, it'll just dry these dirt clods out until this has quite a bit of moisture in this clod. We're wanting to conserve all the moisture we can with this tillage. So when you're running tillage, you're not going to conserve all your moisture, but we're trying to keep what we can keep due to the compaction that this field had after having to harvest it so wet. So coming through here, knocking all that down, looks pretty good behind us. It's leaving it relatively smooth. Pretty nice finish. Got a little cloddy spot right here. We packed all our modules, so this is the hardest spot of the farm, but it's leaving our soil pretty mellowed. Looks nice. I'm super happy with the job it's doing. We got baskets on the back of this plow that are helping level that soil out and pack that ground back in and seal off any little holes or crevices that are going way down deep in the earth where the ripper shanks ran. I'm gonna hop back in the tractor. It is plenty cold. So we got Cheeto driving. We're running about 4.8 miles an hour. Got our GPS running on 27 foot. We're pulling it with the 285R tractor here. This tractor is a lot of times a little light horsepowered for this plow, but I guess the ripper did a good job because it's pulling pretty easy. I'm just using, like I say, about half to 2/3 of our engine horsepower, and we're standing up good. We're not falling in the ground too bad, so it's doing a really nice job. You can see here we've made a pass over there. We got a pass here, and then there's a pass there that we've already plowed. Kind of skip passing it. Cheeto's gonna take it from here. Hopefully he has a good day and gets this one done. We got one more field to do after this one. Those bushings are what keep the slack out of these wheels back here. You can see how they're all tapered off on the side and got a burr on them. And then this metal bushing goes inside that, and then the bolt goes through there. We did all the front bushings last year. They go up in there to keep the individual row unit from shaking. But these press wheels are real loose. Some of them aren't too bad, but some of them are. But if you really look at it, that's got about 2 or 3 inches worth of travel there. In the meantime, I guess we're gonna sit around and wait for parts. So it's Friday. All our parts came in finally. Got all our little bushings here. Little silver bushings. True went through and put each one of them in for me. So now I'm just bolting them back up. I went and got me a 3/8 drive ratchet. Boy, this thing is super handy for especially reaching in here in this tight spot and not having to run an actual ratchet here. and hit your knuckles on these other tires and all the many things that you could bloody your knuckles on. So going through here, just sticking it back together quick. I'm having problems with these ones that are on the back, or all seem too tight. So I'm having to hammer on them pretty hard. Some of them just go right on there, some of them don't, but it seems like the ones on the front just slip right in. So I just pull this bolt out, got it here. Grab my new bushinged arm. It's got a metal bushing in the middle and then the 2 green nylon bushings. Just slide it in there and then stab the bolt through it. Yeah, see, it gets in there and it just gets tight. So what I've been doing is using my screwdriver here, pry it in that hole, just kind of get it lined up a little better where my bolt will go through. And just keep going. When I get them all done, I'll have to go through and tighten that bolt on each one. That's got them all. I'll show y'all here just a random wheel. See how much slack those bushings took out of that. I mean, that's very little slack. That's the way they're supposed to be. So I feel really confident with that. Well, that's gonna conclude the drill here and the ripping and VT video. If you made it this far through the video, thanks for watching. It means a lot. Appreciate that. Be sure to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button, which is the little icon in the corner right here. That'll get you subscribed if you're looking to do that. But appreciate y'all watching. Stay tuned for what's next. See you next time. Thanks.